Today on the Marvel Cinematic Universe podcast, what is there to talk about? Oh yeah, the Winter Soldier. Falcon and the Winter Soldier is coming out this week, and we have got to start this hype train rolling.
Choo-choo.
All that and more right after this ad we have no control over.
Welcome to the Marvel Cinematic Universe podcast. My name is Matthew Carroll.
And I'm Jeff Randle.
Jeff Randle, how you doing today, man?
Man, today is a good day. They dropped another Falcon and the Winter Soldier trailer on me. I didn't think that I was going to be excited about it. I was like, oh yeah, cool, whatever, final trailer. I'm just, it's a week out. I can wait. I couldn't wait.
Yeah,
I saw it and I was like, oh my God, I need to show my face right now.
I normally have the rule that I don't watch the final trailer because I don't want to they often put spoilers in there, but they didn't. It was very, they kept it to pretty much what you knew before. And I was excited, except that we did see one more red guy with the red hand on his face.
And who do you serve?
Yeah.
Whoever red-handed. And that would be the sound of our producer, Ashley Coffin.
What's up, Ashley?
I jumped in the wrong universe. Oh, what's up, guys? Living my best life. How are you?
Living the best life.
Hit us with that 5-star review.
This one comes from Heart This Game. Says, the best. Love y'all in this pod so much. I love hearing all your theories and hopes for the MCU, especially when they're the same as mine. I get so hyped when I see a new episode on my feed. It's a great lifter to help me get through the week. The whole community makes me feel so welcomed and never belittled or ignored. I really appreciate that aspect of it. This pod is funny and intriguing, and I can never get enough of the various discussions, especially the silly ones. Thanks for all you do. P.S. We stan Ashley.
Yay. We all stan Ashley. We all stan Ashley. Except for like the stalkery elements that implies, but we are big fans of Ashley.
No, that too.
Oh, all those things. Sure.
I don't know what it means.
Hey, thank you so much for that 5-star review. We really appreciate that. And I'm just so thankful that other people appreciate this community as much as I do, because I am so thankful for this community. Thanks for the 5-star review, because that really helps us out, helps us stay relevant in all these searches and stuff. And because of you guys, we're like number 4 in after shows right now, which is crazy.
I think we dropped a number 9 today.
Oh no.
That's because we didn't put anything out on Friday.
Yeah. So make sure.
Can't take an off day, man. Gotta keep that hustle going.
Stranded Panda Army. Come on, get us back up there.
Yeah. Keep those reviews coming in. I feel like we took a week off. We took like a week off of doing mini cast, or really we just took one day off, I think. But it feels like forever since we've done a cast, because we were on such a crazy clip there during WandaVision, and I'm really excited to get back to that, twice a week doing this podcast talking about Marvel. Yeah. And I'm glad I needed that one day off to recenter myself and be fully on hype train mode again when this is coming out. So
yeah, I need to fully let go of WandaVision, so I'm fully ready to take in Fatwa.
Yeah.
Fatwas.
You have to release and accept.
Yeah.
It's good that somebody felt great about this week off, because I didn't know what to do with my life.
You have some free time, you let me know. I can send you some tasks.
Constantly feeling like I needed to be doing something.
Right? I was on Friday. I woke up and I was like, what do I do?
Yeah, it was weird. It was weird.
Do I just go to work?
And it's it's only been 9 weeks, but I feel like it's the new normal, and it's going to be the new normal. I mean, it's this whole year, and maybe beyond. We're Friday releases, I really wonder if they're going to keep announcing things through 2022, or if this is a golden year and they're going to space it out next year. I'm sure it'll depend on how this does.
I mean, it feels like we're making up for last year, basically.
Yes, that may be, and that may be. They may have just had so much lined up already because they had the COVID year, but I don't know. I kind of hope it keeps going like this. I'm loving it.
You're loving it now. We've gone through one show.
Yeah, that's true. And I did need the day off, so maybe after a few days I'll be like, I need more than a day off.
Loki is set to come out June 11th, which given the amount of time between Black Widow dropping and Loki coming out, it looks like we're going to have 6 weeks off there.
Yeah, I heard
5 or 6.
Which we were really predicting that it was going to be almost one a week. I wonder if that means other shows will overlap, or if that means we just have some numbers wrong or something else that's not going to come out this year, like projected or whatever. Like, I wonder what that means for the schedule.
I don't know. They were saying What If was going to drop in July, right? And that was the one that I was thinking, it was probably going to be like July 6th or 7th, because that's usually when like the Spider-Man movie comes out or whatever.
But that might push back late July and wait for Loki to be over.
Yeah, it would have been July 9th if it was going to drop on a Friday. Or the 2nd. Could have been 2nd. But yeah, now like with Loki, we were talking about what, like 10 episodes of Loki? So that's
Is it 10 episodes?
Is it 10?
I thought it was 6.
I think Falcon and the Winter Soldier is 6, right?
Yeah,
I thought they were
Falcon and Winter Soldier is 6. I thought that Loki was 10.
I would be floored for that, because I think Loki is going to be one of the best things they put out this year. Like, I think I'm most excited for Loki. Well, and She-Hulk. Those are the two that I'm most excited for.
She-Hulk's not this year, though.
I thought it is supposed to be this year.
No, She-Hulk is next year.
Okay. I don't know. We don't have solid dates on any of it, so who knows?
Loki says 6. But didn't they get 2 seasons? Like, it's already locked in?
It's already locked in for a 2nd season.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Yeah, no, I did notice that. We've talked about it.
We've talked about
I'm a dummy.
On this show.
I know, multiple times. Now that I said, oh, I didn't remember, that's cool. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember saying that before.
I remember saying that thing.
It's been a minute since our Loki trailer breakdown.
Yes.
Yeah, it has been.
Yeah. Our most watched YouTube video is our Loki trailer breakdown. Everybody watch that one.
It's a good trailer.
I cannot wait for that show to come out. I think that's going to be like such a fun show to cover, because it's like all the action and adventure of something like Falcon and Winter Soldier, while being all that theorizing and craziness and wildness of WandaVision. It feels like it'll be a really good fusion of those two worlds.
Yeah.
Because
it really does.
I won't lie. I Falcon and Winter Soldier I'm excited for, but I'm going to miss the like mind freak that is sorry.
This isn't the special Patreon episode.
He said freak. I give you points for that. You did good.
But it's still okay to drop one every now and again, Matt.
Yeah, it just felt too early in the cast,
Okay.
Yeah, I really, really am excited for that. I think it's going to be a really good fusion of those two things.
Yep. So if it is 6 episodes, then that's going to put it ending on July 16th. And if they do a week in between and still want to drop What If in July, they have the 30th that they can hit.
The 30th. Okay.
23rd or the 30th if they want to stick with July.
Right. So yeah, that's crazy. And they may overlap. I hope they don't. I'm really enjoying the weekly release. Although I do think What If is going to have a different audience a little bit because it's animated. But it's animated with all the actors, and so I think that maybe it will maintain the audience. I don't know.
I'm going to watch it. I'll be able to give you feedback from somebody who doesn't like animation.
Right. I don't hate animation or anything, but I don't watch it much. Like, I just don't have a hunger for it.
Yeah.
Like I do other things.
I have a hunger for animation, so
I have a hunger.
This is going to be great for me.
Yay.
I'm going to love it. Okay. I am excited.
That's rad. Is there any other news or anything we should discuss before we just jump into the feedback and stuff?
Well, I mean, have you heard that Falcon and the Winter Soldier is starting this Friday?
No, I didn't hear that. What's that about?
It's a show lovingly called Buckbeak.
Where does that come from? I've been seeing that all over the chat.
And Beak.
Bucky and Falcon. Falcons have beaks.
So,
Buck, beak.
But I get it. I'm not saying I can understand why it comes to that, but where does that come from? I've been seeing it in the chat a lot. Is that like
it's a Harry Potter thing? Harry Potter has a creature in it. It's a griffin in one of the movies. Its name is Buckbeak.
Is it just a griffin?
Like a hippogriff?
It has a beak.
Hippogriff, that's it.
Yeah. Okay, got it. That I did not know the reference because I don't know Harry Potter very well. And people kept saying Buckbeak, and I was like, did I miss something? Did I miss this joke? I don't know what this joke is.
Hera J.K. brought up, did anybody watch the WandaVision Assembled? I loved it. The behind the scenes.
I didn't watch it yet.
I haven't watched it either.
You guys.
Let's watch it live.
Okay, let's watch it right now.
I don't think so.
I have not had time. I've had a
Watch
really
party.
crazy week, but maybe I'll get to watch it this week.
It was very good.
Yeah, maybe we'll drop a shorty on it if I get a chance to.
A shouty.
A little shorty out of the body.
It just reminds me, like Catherine Hahn. I just love her. I love her so much. And,
Well, any awesome takeaways from it? You since you are the one that's seen it among us.
So it was really interesting seeing how in this, it was the first time they had to do so many flying characters. Everyone was flying, especially in that last episode.
Yeah.
I thought that was really good. They really went into the studio audience stuff, like filming all of those episodes in front of a studio audience. One of the people who worked on the shows, like, they got their inspiration to do that, the Bewitched kind of, what is it called? Movie magic stuff. So it's literally just strings moving things around and holding things up, making them float all over the place, like the simplest of movie effects. And it just works so well.
Yeah, for sure. I love it. It works so well to look exactly like those shows did when they were doing the same thing. Really, really super. I can't wait to see that. I really would like to see more of the behind the scenes. There are some interesting tidbits that came out in the news about it this week, like the showrunner saying that she'd never heard of Mephisto.
I
Talk about insult to injury.
Yeah, I think it's a lie.
I think it's a lie. I'll like. There's no way you can read any of the like comic inspiration for Wanda.
And the
her
twins.
story is so tied, like especially her story in the twins, right? Is so tied to Mephisto. It's absurd.
Okay, so in the story this is inspired by, where she has a fake family and she has to say goodbye to them, and it's the two of them living together and all that stuff. Does that Mephisto reveal happen immediately? Or is that something that happens late down the line? Right, because like, I don't know.
Well, the kids get absorbed and are revealed to have been part of Mephisto's soul.
Like in the comic, this is, or in one of the comics, this is inspired by.
In one of the comics that this,
I know that happens, but I didn't know if it happened like after the events of this. Because
they're combining a lot of it.
Right.
They're combining the events of like what is it, Vision and the Scarlet Witch when they moved to Jersey. Was it Peoria?
I think so.
Okay.
When they got their house and they didn't have the kids at that point, if memory serves. And then the kids came later, but there was also some inspiration from the Tom King Vision storyline, but that was Vision and his robot family. Like there's a bunch of inspiration across the board. So like you can't say that it's any one story that is inspiring it. But the kids, like after they showed up, are within a few years taken away. To be they're shown to be part of Mephisto's soul originally or whatever.
Right.
But they do get reincarnated.
So is it possible that the run of this, like she read a run of books, like, whatever, an 8-issue, 16-issue run, where maybe it does eventually lead into that, and she just didn't read forward and find out about Pandemonium and Mephisto and all that stuff. Like, I don't know. It seems possible to me, but I haven't read those books. I don't know how tied in all of that is.
It just working with so many people who would know that in the studio with them and working for Marvel, there's just no way that wasn't thrown against the wall as spaghetti. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
I still think that Marvel could be intending to make the Mephisto thing a thing. And that could be where the boys are. It's just a matter of whether this story was about that and whether they may have not even shown her that, like, maybe, they might give her like, here's the 50 books you need to read to like understand the source material that we're trying to draw from here. And they may not want to go into that stuff yet. So maybe they didn't. But I don't know. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's the thing though, that this story, this WandaVision series is the first part of phase 4. And it's the very first part after the Infinity Saga. We as fans were putting so much on this show. Like we were putting Endgame expectations on Iron Man. Like it's ridiculous to have had those amount of expectations on it.
True. Yeah, I definitely think the fans went a little wild with the theorizing for sure. But I would not be so totally surprised if she didn't know, but I also would be fine if Marvel's lying to me. I've said it over and over. Lie to me, Marvel. Do it. Lie to me.
Yeah, you've begged them to lie to you.
Yeah.
Like when they showed you the trailer for Infinity War, where it had everybody running through the forest, all epic, and then that doesn't happen at all. You were like, oh, yes, do more of that.
Thank you.
And because they listen to us,
they
listen to us, they give you what you want.
Absolutely.
I saw Benedict Cumberbatch apologized for not showing up at the end of WandaVision because we would have been right on because I think it was supposed to happen and he couldn't because he was stuck in New Zealand.
I heard
Same with Darcy. Kat Dennings was supposed to have more of a role in that last episode, but they had only filmed the one thing before she couldn't. The states were having shutdowns and she couldn't get out of where she was. So that's why she was supposed to be in that end scene when they were like, oh, Darcy thinks that whatever's are lame.
When she took off, goodbyes are lame or something like that.
It was because she couldn't get back.
That makes sense. And
wow. Yeah,
I figured something had happened there. And also, she was supposed to be in a final scene where it was like her and Ralph. Or no, it was Monica, Ralph. Was Darcy in there?
Yeah.
Monica, Ralph, Darcy, and the kids. Were supposed to be chased by Senior Scratchy.
They were going to steal the Darkhold, and he was down there, and he defends it. I would have loved to see that. He
transforms into a demon, or and proves that he's her familiar, and then chases them through the downstairs. I made a TikTok about it. Go check it out.
Oh, and confirmed we were supposed to get 10 episodes.
Yes, that's true. That's true. They were originally going to be 10 episodes, but they collapsed it down into 9. So a lot of these little things are coming out now, and I think that's kind of fun. I like the stuff that kind of comes out after the show where, okay, the stakes are over now, and now we can tell you all the things we were going to do.
Yeah.
Right. I kind of don't like that, though, because, just let what you gave us be.
Yeah, don't tell me what I could have had.
Yeah, I don't function on what I could have had. This is what we got. Deal with it.
Right. I still think that that is what we got. It's still what's canon, but it's still just interesting. It's not like I'm sitting here going yep, that means Mephisto confirmed or whatever. There's a demon. The bunny's a demon.
I am.
I do think it confirms that they intended for the Mr. Scratchy to be her familiar, like the evil spirit that works alongside her and aids her in her magic, which is what I thought originally. Which we've got some feedback that will lead us to more discussion about that, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. Any feedback that we have is going to prompt more discussion of Mephisto. Because that's what we do.
We've gotten everyone's heads too.
So, yeah, we had a game plan. There was an idea.
And
we were going to start it tonight. And we may still do it next Monday. We haven't decided yet. But we were going to start a show called Put It on the Board, where we talk about all the ideas, because there was so much theorizing, and it was a lot of fun to theorize and talk about all the different random ideas we have of where the show is going, and put it on the board, as it were. And then
put it on the board.
Discuss whether it should or shouldn't be on the board, whether it's a good or bad idea, kind of go down the list of ideas that we have. That was an idea that we were going to start tonight, was we were going to try to make a pilot episode of that sort of a YouTube show that we're going to do. But I kind of feel like after we over theorize so hard on WandaVision, I feel like leaning into theorizing feels silly. Unless we overly do it. Unless we go we realize it's ridiculous, but put it on the board, which is always kind of the idea, I guess.
I mean, yeah, that has been the idea after we got out our initial theories. After that, it was okay, well, how ridiculous can we go? Put it on the board. Yeah, put it on the board. Put it on the board. And and having a completely, utterly ridiculous theory is always fun, but I was thinking a lot about that with I feel like Marvel fans are getting picked on a little bit because we went so hard at the theorizing, and everyone's you guys messed up your own show because you were wanting too much. Yeah.
There's a lot of
you
DC
got disappointed in your
us.
own show because you expected too much from it.
Yeah. we were getting a little of that.
I was telling Ken how people were upset, and he was like, why? It was just and I was starting to read the stuff. He's like, that's dumb. That's stupid. Why are they men?
Why are people upset? The show was so good.
Yeah.
The show was great. It had no flaws in my mind. I think it was really wonderful, but we got so much theories out. And it's
fun.
It seems like it really took the creators by surprise. If you listen to the director was on Fat Man on Batman this week. I do highly recommend that episode of Fat Man on Batman. He like gets really into what he thought. That's where he says the thing about the bunny, Mr. Scratchy.
Right.
Yeah, that was Matt Shackman.
Yeah.
So Shackman on Batman. No, Shackman on Fat Man on Batman. That sounds like a weird porn. Anyway.
Let's move on to feedback.
Sorry to make it so awkward, but let's transition to feedback.
All right. Well, we're
Seamless.
We're gonna allow Miss Ashley. You're gonna go into your cave and find us some more feedback. Go spelunking for feedback.
I'll splunk it all night.
Okay, let's get to the prearranged feedback we have here.
Free range feedback.
Yeah, she's getting some free range feedback. This is the caged and antibiotic.
This is the GMO.
Full. Yeah, it's
feedback.
the GMO feedback.
Oh God, what the hell analogy are we? Where are we going? See, this is what happens when we don't have a show.
I know we
To
did
talk
this for a
about.
year and a half.
Like, we get some real weird stuff.
Thinking about that year, I mean, we did have Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which was so wonderful to have. But it is funny that like we had a year and a half of no like Marvel Studios proper content. Nothing to talk
And like
about.
trying to figure out how to have a weekly show still where we were like, what do we talk about? I don't know. Do we do one of the commissions that nobody has sent in?
Yeah. Oh, speaking of what do we talk about, and just that voice I just made, which was John C. Reilly's voice, which probably didn't come across because I'm bad at impressions. As I got some feedback about after our Batman and Bane episode dropped.
No,
Did you?
really?
Did you?
Just a little
I
bit.
thought
Just a little bit. It's okay. I'm not
What do I
upset.
gotta beat her up?
I'll send you his address.
Send me their name.
Where do they live? Who's their close family?
I did want to mention me and Nathaniel Muzzy covered Kong Skull Island last night on Bingers Assemble.
Oh yeah?
And oh my gosh, that movie is good. Kong Skull Island is wonderful. It's really, really good movie. And the conversation I had with Muzzy afterwards made it even more like meaningful because we really kind of dug down on some cool stuff. So if you are interested in any way in the Monsterverse, like please go check out our series on Bingers Assemble. And Godzilla's okay, but Kong Skull Island is wonderful. I'm not saying as a creature. I'm talking about those particular movies. 2014's Godzilla and Kong Skull Island. I'm not picking sides in the battle, Ashley.
Godzilla forever.
Yeah.
Kong Skull Island
Did you
had...
just like that because it was a Marvel reunion? Don't lie.
Yeah, that had like a quarter of the MCU cast.
Yeah, we got Loki, Captain Marvel, Fury, probably
There's
a
one
couple
scene
more
in the
there.
movie where Loki, Tom Hiddleston grabs a sword and he goes
Loki.
fighting through some monsters in a really like cool fashion, which is like almost abnormal for the movie because the movie's pretty grounded, and he's just like doing like kung fu with a sword and there's green smoke everywhere, and I was just like, that is absolutely a Loki moment. Like he's like really good. I actually really do highly recommend Kong Skull Island, and like I said, Godzilla's great like as a character, but that first 2014 Godzilla I think is lacking in the like plot. Well, you listen to Bingers Assemble, you'll find out what I think. It's
The incest was bothering you, right?
what?
With
because-
Wanda and Pietro, you just couldn't
Right.
shut it off.
Wanda Maximoff and Pietro are in there together as a married couple, which that's a little weird. But no, I don't know. I don't want to relitigate it all because I did do
You're
it
getting
for like
excited.
hours.
Yeah, don't spoil the podcast for the Matt.
Dive into the Bingers Assemble like my entire thoughts on that, but don't make me do that. Let's talk about Marvel.
Let's talk about Alyssa Miles' email first.
Yeah, let's do it.
She says, it was beautifully done. I had the day off on Friday, but my husband did not. So I rewatched the series beginning to end before watching the finale, and the whole thing was so well crafted and well executed. Stylistically, it was most certainly a departure for Marvel. But the style was a perfect vessel for telling the story of Wanda Maximoff and her journey to becoming the Scarlet Witch. In addition to that, we get to enjoy the brilliant comedic stylings of Jimmy Woo and Dr. Darcy Lewis. Agatha Harkness was introduced as a dimensional and formidable villain. We got one of the most emotional and powerful female superhero moments watching Monica willingly enter the Hex a second time, heroically accepting her fate, and in the process fully gaining/earning her powers. We got brilliant and poignant dialogue from Vision that could hold its own with lines like, "I love you 3000. I'm just really grateful Marvel was brave enough to tell this story in this way at this time." Alyssa.
Yeah, that line, "What is grief but love persevering," is like...
That's my heart.
Yeah. How is that not poetry that's been written since the beginning of time? Like, that is
right?
So good and so perfect. Matt Shackman talked about that. He's like, yeah, that's just the person who wrote that episode. They wrote that. They just wrote a great line. It's like, it's amazing. Like, that's like tattoo worthy, you know?
Right? Like, that goes along with like when Vision was wanting to name, like when they thought they were having one kid, when he was trying to name it Billy, he was like, it's named after William Shakespeare. All the world's a stage, the men and women only players. Like, ooh. He was going very, poetic in his nature, which was odd because he's a robot, but he's a synthezoid. But it, like, him having that kind of insight on things like that, like, and that poetic style of delivery and the poetic wording, like, kind of makes me wonder, like, has Vision just been studying poetry? Should he be a poet instead of an Avenger?
Yeah, probably. Art is more important than fighting aliens. Yeah, I say as a musician. No, I really, really, really like Alyssa's feedback. I put it first because it was just a glowing endorsement of the show, and I just think the show was also incredibly wonderful. And yeah, I think that definitely Vision is assimilating all the information. He's been Johnny Five for the last 10 years or whatever. He's just been input. He's just been like reading and consuming all of Earth's history and media, and like he's just able to process it and make it into good art. And that was just poetry. What is love but grief preserving? Persevering. Sorry. Is it grief preserved? See, now I'm messed up.
Love persevering.
Love persevering.
What is grief but love persevering?
Yeah. Ugh, I said it right a minute ago.
You said it right the first time, but then you made it like, what is love but grief persevering?
Yep. I flipped it.
Yep.
That does not make any sense. Thank you for making me a Roxbury, whatever.
Yeah, this is Night at the Mattsbury. Sam Feldman sent us an email, said, "Hello there, my name is Sam, and a longtime listener, first-time emailer. Love listening to my favorite Mephisto Cinematic Universe podcast."
Does that one hurt, Jeff?
No, it feels good. I like it. I like all of it because I see. Let's see. He says WandaVision was a mix of emotional turmoil mixed with classic MCU action. Jeff is 100% correct in his statement about being somewhat disappointed in the finale and it being his fault.
I feel like the way you started reading that sentence, you now wish you'd read the whole thing first.
Nope. I stand by it. He said I was correct, and that's all I need. He continues with, "No Mephisto, Strange, mutants, or Quicksilver. What a boner." I admit I feel the same to an extent, but I love the show. Wanda's bout with grief and loss and wanting to run from her issues is something a lot of people including do?
Including me, probably.
Maybe including me. Elizabeth Olsen's ability to change on a whim from happy-go-lucky to emotionally distraught in the blink of an eye is amazing. Paul Bettany, who has literally been here from the beginning, deserves all the love he is getting. After the long layoff without content, Marvel shows again why they are at the top. Love you guys. 3,333.
Ooh, lots of threes there.
What does it mean?
Well, 3, it's like half of one of those little hearts without the greater than symbol. So less than symbol. So it's probably just a love thing. Thanks, Sam.
It's probably Mephisto. Sam is Mephisto.
Those are. It's either 3,333 or it's
No, that's my podcast.
4M
that
confirmed.
I haven't done anything with. Yeah.
4M confirmed.
4M confirmed to maybe have a second arc.
Yeah, I hear that. I hear that's coming. Okay. Go subscribe to the Monday Morning Movie Medics, everybody.
What is Mephisto but a podcast persevering?
What is Mephisto but a podcast that's been in isolation too long?
Yeah, right? Oh my God. Oh, like I'm embarrassed.
That's a pretty good meme. We should make that meme, something like that.
I'm not embarrassed at the amount of theories that we put out, and I'm not embarrassed by the content of said theories. I'm embarrassed by the actual real expectations that I laid on the show.
Right. Yeah, I think you're a little embarrassed by the fact that your heart was really in it and it was a little broken when it didn't happen.
Yeah, I was real into something big going down.
As a podcaster, you did a wonderful thing. You did a great job. But as a human being, you feel like
as a fan,
I put a little too much into that.
Yeah, I put it all on black and it came up red, and I was like, "Oh,
you gotta say you put it on red if it's Mephisto, right?"
Yeah, because Mephisto, I put it on red. That's right.
And it all came up white vision.
It came up white vision. It's like, the one thing that I still said was going to happen, but didn't happen the way I thought it would. And that's, it's interesting. It's great, really. It's really great that we can theorize so much and throw so many theories out there, so much spaghetti at the wall, and yet we still didn't get it right.
Yeah. We got certain things and didn't get others.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what I want more than anything, though.
Me
I don't
too.
want to, surprise me.
Surprise me.
Lie to me, surprise me. I feel it.
Just
Buy
don't
me
do what
dinner.
I tell you that I want.
Okay, so one thing I really want to say about Sam's feedback here is like, he's saying, he was like disappointed with some of the lack of some of the things appearing and stuff, but still love the show. And I think you feel the same way. And I think most people that felt that, that's something I want to say I appreciate about the entire Panda community. Like, as much as I've definitely seen some people in the Stranded Panda chat saying like, I'm disappointed that this didn't happen, or I'm disappointed that didn't happen. But I haven't really seen much of like, that was a bad show, which I've seen on the internet a lot. But I haven't really seen it in the Panda community, because like, as much as everyone's like disappointed that their theory didn't pan out, I think most people in this community have a little bit more grounded, where they're like, it was my theory though. Like, that's me. That's my problem.
Yeah, I don't expect my theory to come true, because it's a theory.
Doesn't have to for the show to be good.
Right. Like, the show could still be good without our theories coming true. I did see one person saying that the show was bad, and
yeah, I've definitely seen that a little bit.
Didn't engage. That's all it was. I was just like, meh. You're allowed to have your opinion.
No,
as wrong as I think it may
you wrote
be.
me a private message. It was like, can I kick this person out of the group? And I'm like, no, Jeff.
Yeah.
No.
Can I burn their house down?
No.
Matt, can I burn their house down real quick?
People can have different opinions.
Yeah, and I was instructed that I felt that it's okay for people to have other opinions that may be wrong. So Jay Sisson sent us an email. It says, much was made about how we may have over-theorized during WandaVision, causing some of us to ultimately be disappointed when our theories didn't come true. Well, I didn't learn my lesson, and I have a theory for Falcon and Winter Soldier. Who wants to come with me? This theory train stops for no one.
I love it. Let's keep the theory train rolling. Toot, toot.
Chicka, 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 chicka.
Motherfucker. Sorry. I think Super Serum is going to be involved and will be some sort of major plot line. Although the actual serum that was used to create Cap probably won't be distributed, I would think that criminals around the world will attempt to recreate the serum and may create a bootleg version of it that could have weird side effects. This could explain the villains with the masks on in the trailer, seemingly holding up in combat well against Sam and Bucky, and could explain Zemo's involvement, who has deep knowledge about efforts to create super soldiers. This could also connect to the efforts to create more Widow soldiers and Black Widow. there are also several Cap-centered storylines around this sort of thing in the comics. What are your 2 early theories for Fatwas? Thanks for the great work.
My earliest theory that I would like to see happen, I don't know if they're going to do it, is I would love for them to tackle the stuff with, is his name Patriot? What's his, in comics, the guy who's the grandson of the original Captain America? Patriot?
That is Patriot, yeah.
Yeah, I really like, and there's the stuff in the, so in the comics, there's a, we've talked about a little bit in the past, and we did a little bit of the comics read of Young Avengers. There's a boy who his grandfather was the first Captain America, and his whole platoon had the serum tested on them, and basically it was a black platoon of soldiers. Everyone died but him. He got superpowers, but they wouldn't give him like the actual mantle of Captain America because he was a black man. So they went on to find Steve Rogers. And so like it's about sort of the like that complicated legacy of the Shield, which, you know, that's not the only thing that can mean that Sam's talking about. But when Sam said that in the trailer, it made me really want that storyline. And Patriot and like actually telling a little bit of that history. I don't know if they're willing to go that far though. I feel like Marvel tends to walk a very politically non-substantial line.
That would put a really weird light on Dr. Erskine, though. Like,
for sure.
At this point, we just see him as the good doctor. You know, he expatriated from Germany and, you know, was looking for a good man. And, you know, that's, oh, God.
Unless it was unbeknownst to Erskine. Like, Erskine brought his serum over. They, like, tested it on some other subjects before they, like, Erskine used it or something. I don't know. But yeah, I agree with you. It would definitely complicate Erskine's storyline.
It could, but maybe. Oh, here we go. All right, I got it.
We're already theorizing. Show's not out yet.
But all of that did happen because Mephisto took it from him.
Oh gosh. Okay.
And used it on the Black Soldiers.
Speaking of Faust, Will Faust.
It's okay.
I have a theory.
Yeah, what is it?
I theorize that I'm going to be pretty thirsty in the beginning, and then I'm going to be extremely thirsty by the end.
Never going to have that thirst quenched, eh? Just build up of thirst.
If she did, Ken would be mad.
Ken would not be very happy.
I gave him such a Bucky haircut today. He's like, well, this is a little different. It's a little longer. I'm like, uh-huh. like Civil War Bucky.
Yeah. It just creative inspiration.
Yeah. Did you start reciting Russian words to him?
Yeah, I was like, homecoming.
Train car. 19.
Thirsty?
Thirsty much? God, in that trailer when Sam was like, we're not teammates. We're not really a team, coworkers, but we look damn good. I was like, I know of at least 5 people in the Stranded Panda chat that, like, when they watch that, were like, yeah, you do. I was like, Ashley, Katie Rose Button, probably Jess,
me,
probably Melissa.
Yeah.
Probably me.
Probably more than 5.
Yeah, it's probably Matt. More than 5. I do love there's like a good solid thirst crew happening in the Panda chat all the time.
I love that they had our conversation about wizards on the last, but the one before. There was like, I was like, hey, we had this conversations. Now I know they're listening to the podcast.
Right? Yeah.
They recut their whole trailer. just to get us. Back.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. That was pretty crazy that they had like a conversation about the difference between sorcerers and wizards like the next week after we had it.
Meta.
Yeah, great.
Sorcerers are wizards without hats, which is like a hilarious take on it.
Yeah. No, it's very funny. Very good.
But the way that, like, in that trailer, the way that Sam says it, where he's like, it could be one of the big 3, and Bucky's like, what are you talking about? Like, I love that.
What do you
that
say?
Sam,
Robots, aliens, or wizards?
androids, aliens, or wizards. And he's like, that's not a thing. It's totally a thing.
Big three.
I love that Sam has this like this fan or the fanboy understanding of how the world works in their world. Like he's giving things funny names. He's like, it's always like this. He's, making suppositions. He's probably got his own theories about Mephisto as far as WandaVision was concerned. Like the character of Sam Wilson probably does.
That made me think, well, no, I guess that's just a connection to what they're going through, and something's going on and they're trying to solve it. It's one of the big three, but like made me wonder if like I wonder where this happens in relation to the snap. Somebody had actually it may be in the feedback. No, I don't think it is. It was just random conversation in the chat on Facebook, which is the link is in the description. Join the Stranded Panda chat. Somebody had I wish I knew her name. So sorry. But someone was talking about the idea that possibly the reason Zemo is able to escape is because of the blip or the snap. Like maybe he was blipped away, and then when he came back, if he was in the raft, for instance, the raft's no longer there and he's out, or is able to like blips back to the closest land mass or whatever, and he's free.
I was going to say, does he blip back like leagues
Into
under
the
the ocean?
They did say. That's what I was joking. Like, did he just go in the ocean? And she reminded me that like there was someone mentioned one of the writers said that like when Hulk snapped back, he like was thinking about like everyone going back to the closest, safest place or whatever.
Oh, okay.
But like, yeah, that's definitely really funny. I mean, it's technically safe. He's just swimming.
It is very
except
deep.
for the sharks and the fact that it's an ocean and he can't swim that far.
That's fair. But anyway, the point being, like, what if the through line of a lot of these shows that we're getting over the next year is the unsnapping, right? Like,
return from the blip.
Yeah, like what if he returns from the blip, or there's that chaos in the prison cells in the trailer. Like, what if you saw the hospital having some people flip out because of everybody unblipping? What if a bunch of prisoners just unblipped inside the prison? God. Yeah.
And they had already filled those cells.
Yeah, and there's just
with
tons
other
of people. Yeah.
Oh God.
I thought this all was a fun little theorizing of why Zemo's out of jail and what could have happened there. It'd be neat if like this WandaVision and like Miss Marvel all showed what happened when someone came back from from being snapped.
The unsnapping.
The doctor in episode 4, Dr. Harley, I think is what she called her. She asked Monica, "Where did you go?" And Monica was like, well, "I don't know what you're talking about." And it cut away. Like, what if we get an explanation, or what if we get discussion on where they actually went?
It's possible. It seems like her answer though was like, "I just fell asleep for a second."
Right.
So was Peter's.
Yeah. So it seems like they don't know anything about where they went.
It seemed like a second to them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but what if we get some sort of dive into where they actually went, what actually happened?
It could be. I don't think we're going to get it in Falcon Winter Soldier if that happens.
Probably not Falcon and Winter Soldier.
But it could be somewhere.
Yeah, that might be a Loki thing.
Maybe.
Might be a.
Well, it seems like a Doctor Strange thing, maybe, but like, I think it's just done. I think we're just supposed to believe they stopped existing and then they're coming back.
We're gonna let that little birdie fly free. Bye, little birdie.
Bye, birdie. Let's get to Will Faust's feedback.
Will Faust says, "Hello, my name is Will.
Hi, Will.
Hey, Will.
I am 23 years old and I've grown up on the MCU."
Sweet.
Wow.
That's
if
crazy.
He's 23 now, then when Iron Man came out,
he was like 10.
He was like 12.
A babe in the woods.
10, right?
No, it's 12 years ago. Yeah. So he would have been 11. 10 or 11. Jeez.
You were between 10 and 12.
Right.
For sure.
You're somewhere between 6 and 15. I'm not a math guy.
A teenager?
He was a tween. He says, "The first one I saw in theaters was Captain America: The First Avenger, and I fell in love with the character immediately.
Me too.
He's the leader of the Avengers, and his wielding of Mjolnir is the greatest moment in cinematic history."
And that ass.
With him and Tony gone, are the Avengers still a thing? If so, who would be their leader? All the Avengers were about that superhero life, but they still look to Cap's leadership. Who else can command that respect? I love the show and would love to hear y'all's thoughts. Thank you, Will.
I think we will get a team again, but I think for now, at least, the Avengers are over, right? Like, I don't think there's an Avengers team.
I thought Feige said that Captain Marvel was being set up to be the new leader. I thought, but that might have been a long time ago, and they might have switched courses since then.
Yeah, there was a lot of people that weren't a huge fan of that movie, so I don't know if they have the same plans that they originally had, but maybe. Also, I think Doctor Strange is a good choice.
Yeah.
Well, Strange is somebody that they would look to as an authority on
Right,
stuff.
that's true. He kind of is facing different battles all the time. It depends on what they're fighting. If they're doing a big multiverse of madness, and that's like what this whole phase is about, and Multiverse of Madness is like the thing we're heading towards with like WandaVision and Loki and Spider-Man and it all leading up to this big event of Multiverse of Madness, then like kind of makes sense that he would be the leader there. But it just depends on the kind of threat they're facing, I guess.
Yeah. I would think that Strange is going to fill the role that he had in Infinity War, where like he knows about the big bad or what the big bad wants more than anybody, but he's not really necessarily in charge. He is powerful and he can help, but he's got more than anything, he's just got information that helps.
And power.
But he's not necessarily in charge.
Yeah, I think that's fair. But I do think the Avengers are kind of like a defunct thing. But we know that one of the things they say in the new trailer for Falcon and Winter Soldier is America saying, we need someone to believe in again. And they're trying to sort of pass the shield to a new Captain America that is not Falcon. That's part of the plot line.
Bullshit.
Which is bullshit. But, do you think Sam Wilson will end up... So all this talk of super serum and standing up against these characters that are apparently getting some sort of super serum, do you think that Falcon will end this series with superpowers?
I don't think so.
I know that's not really a comics accurate thing. Like I know he's just a guy with whatever, just a guy with wings. But
I'd want to be a superhero. Like, somebody get me that serum.
Yeah. Well, especially if he's stepping into the role of Captain America, it just seems like that would be something he would need. I feel
everyone else is super powered, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. I could see why. I mean, it even strains credulity to me. Like in the trailer, they show him like doing these flips and stuff, and I'm like, looks like he has like super jumping and super strength. Like, and he doesn't have that. So, I mean, right now, I guess he's just a really fit dude. But it's going to be weird if he's the leading and Bucky has superpowers. Laughing at Ashley's yum that she just.
Yep. It was so subconscious. It was so funny.
I don't even know I said it.
Ashley's laughing now because she doesn't realize the noise she made when I talked about how fit he was.
Yep. You're like, maybe he's just a really fit dude. And she's like,
Now like everyone is hitting the 30-second back button on the podcast to go, wait, what did she do? I'm going to go and like grab that little
you gotta grab that clip.
I'm writing the time down for you.
I'm going to go grab that sound effect and just be able to drop it in anywhere I need to.
Oh God. That's funny.
Okay. But who would you say? Who leads the Avengers? If there was a new team, whether they're called the Avengers at first or, they're calling themselves the Illuminati or something else or whatever, like who's the leader? I don't know. Illuminati is a different thing, I realize.
Yeah, that's like all the main guys.
Jimmy Woo.
Jimmy Woo.
I can't believe it. His magic tricks. Look over here.
I would say T'Challa too. But he will obviously not be around in this movie.
I'm sticking with Captain Marvel.
I think it's a good choice.
Mm-hmm. At least for a little while.
I'm very excited for Captain Marvel too. Because I think they're going to tell a little bit more of a traditional story And I didn't hate her as a character. I just found the movie to not be, it didn't land with me the way it did with some people. So yeah, very well maybe. Yeah.
What about Rhodey?
Yeah,
That's
Rhodey
possible.
could be great. I think they're setting up something, and like I know this is like something we've talked about a little bit, like the Thunderbolts or the alternate Avengers, the Dark Avengers, whatever. It seems like they're setting up something where there's going to be a group of powered people that are a team, especially with armor wars and all this stuff going on. Like I feel like they could set up this great team that is not necessarily the good guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Boys, but in Marvel.
Yeah. Oh, it'd be the best.
That would be the
Real
best.
good. Give me Sentry going nuts and tearing people in half. I need it. I need it so bad.
This is where I drop that sound effect.
We were watching Quentin Tarantino has this like documentary about him and all his movies, and they were talking about Inglourious Basterds, speaking of the boys, and they had said how one of the original Nazi like groups was called Stormfront. And I just, if I had known that, I would have like given it away right away what her character was. I just thought that was really interesting.
No, yeah, I think we
God.
actually talked about that on the on PandaVision back when we covered The Boys.
Yeah, I was on those. I don't remember.
We did. Which like we didn't know it until they kind of revealed her character on the show.
Yeah.
But like, yeah. Anyway, spoilers for The Boys.
Yeah.
If
Little part.
I can't wait to cover The Boys. By the way, I'm really
I know.
excited with this new format of going live and everything. I'm so excited to do The Boys.
Me too.
We're gonna have to like keep buckets of fake blood around to throw on ourselves to be like, I'm Dewey now. This is my Dewey cosplay.
This is.
See, I called him Dewey because you called him Dewey, Matt.
Oh, that's
Dewey.
right.
His name's Huey.
His name's Huey. I kept calling him
I'm
Dewey.
so conditioned to Dewey that I didn't think you were
Matt's
wrong.
gotten in your head. He's gotten in your head.
He Mephisto'd me.
Ooh.
I used my wiggly woos.
He used his wiggly woos.
Oh, my Mephisto? Anyway.
Where's that sound effect? G.I. Joe Atlanta on Twitter said, listening to my guys and Ashley on MCU Cast, gonna miss talking to you all about everything. Hashtag WandaVision. Definitely a great ride. I haven't looked forward to a show on Friday since I was a kid in 1996. Thanks all. Great chemistry. All producers are great, but IMO, the chemistry is best with a female in the bunch. Also, Ashley has so much knowledge, and that used to be a rare thing a while ago. Not so much anymore, many female fans. That's awesome to me. Well, we know that after Endgame, the Avengers are basically on a break, doing their own things. Now, I think Nick Fury notices more threats and needs a new team, and that's why he's bringing Monica up in space to form a new Avengers team. Thoughts?
Space.
There's a theory.
That is a good theory. I like that theory a lot.
Monica, duh.
Yeah, no, that's a good call. Monica as leader of the Avengers, or some version of them. Monica as leader of the Dark Avengers, because she doesn't know it at first. Like she was what makes it legitimized, and then she realizes, but she's on the inside.
She has a no bullshit radar, though.
Yeah. She does have a good bullshit radar.
For sure.
Wasn't there somebody on the team that was there to like make it legit that didn't know that it was bad? Was it Ares?
I have no idea. I never read those books.
I think you're right, though.
It seems like it would make
I keep
sense.
thinking, what about Namor and Emma Frost? But that was the Cabal. But yeah. Great call, though.
Yeah, thanks, G.I. Joe Atlanta. That was super nice.
Yeah, thanks, Joe.
Ashley's like, tell me more about how great I am.
We've gotten
Don't stop.
nothing but wonderful feedback about you, Ashley. It's wonderful. Everyone really loves having you on the show.
Oh, I'm going to enjoy it while it lasts.
Chris HL94 said, lingering question from WandaVision. Are the residents of Westview aware that Agatha is still trapped in Wanda's spell? Wouldn't they side with Agnes and try to break her free after what they went through in the Hex?
Yes, absolutely. I have a lot to say about this.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
I've been wanting to make a TikTok about this one. Because I really do think like I don't think have I talked about this on the cast already? I don't know that I have. I think that we are poised for Westview to make a comeback and strong, especially with Sarah Proctor. Did we talk about this last week?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Okay, never mind. I think it's totally going to happen. So, Chris, I think you're dead on. I think that like Sarah Proctor, she has that witchy connection. Agnes, I think that Wanda will come back to that town to visit Agnes to get some information that she needs or whatever, like she said she might. And when she does, she's going to find Agnes, and Agnes will not be still under her control. She will be Agatha, and she will have like a team of witches that she's been training, and like, yeah, it's going to be metal.
It's going to be metal. I just expect metal music to start playing when Wanda goes back to Westview.
Yeah, it's going to be metal Agatha all along.
Oh, God.
Agatha all along.
Who's been pulling every evil string?
Okay, I'm done.
That was good. That was good stuff. We should form a band.
Yeah, based on that, I decline.
If only we knew somebody who was in one.
Oh man, yeah, we should do a metal version of Agatha all along. I'm down.
We're going to Nashville in May, so that's
just
a perfect time to get our name out there and start handing our EP.
Yeah,
I could play the tambourine. I could be the Stevie Nicks. Yeah, ching, 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 ching.
Okay,
that's
all right.
Anyway.
Great.
I'm sold.
Tambourining.
Thanks. I will grab my tambourine right now, and I will give you a live show.
I said I'm sold.
Okay, good. I'm bought.
That wasn't a challenge. So Matt, did you get out all the thoughts on Westview that you wanted?
I just feel very strongly that that's a possibility for the future, for sure. I really do.
Yeah, I mean the townspeople, from their perspective, Agatha was a hero, and Wanda was keeping them under a spell and subdued, enslaved even. Like that's troubling. And maybe Westview could be like the catalyst for, some sort of superhero oversight team that the government wants to put together, composed of super people that would, look at keeping them in line. And that could be Dark Avengers or Thunderbolts,
Ooh.
Right. Any
I
of
like
those?
that.
Oh man, Thunderbolts led by Zemo, because Zemo says that superpowered people shouldn't be allowed to exist, but maybe he's got the government backing on it.
Maybe, but yeah, I still think it seems like what we're heading towards is like a superhero team or a superpowered team that is not a group of heroes, and I think that's So that doesn't really go with his ethos of like no more superpowered people.
He's got to conform eventually.
Well, maybe he's like, we need the superpowered people to take out the other superpowered people.
Sure.
And then we can take them out.
Right. It's okay as long as I'm, in charge.
Or maybe he ends this series with like getting superpowers himself, and then he changes his tune,
No guns, only me.
Yeah.
I'm the only one that is allowed to have guns. Oh man, yeah. That's my theory. We
I like
got
it.
Zemo in the place of Norman Osborn. I like it.
That could be cool.
Sean O'Brien on Gmail said, "Hey guys and gal,
Hi.
big fan. Glad we have content back to stew over. Since the early episodes of WandaVision, when we saw the return of Monica, we also started seeing some of the inner workings of S.W.O.R.D., but we're still lacking on an origin of S.W.O.R.D. The first snap happened in 2019, and Monica was already an accomplished pilot from the sounds of it. Based on the doctor telling Monica her mom died 3 years ago, and immediately after the 2024 blip, and Maria being the founder of S.W.O.R.D., perhaps as proxy of Talos and Fury, this infers they've been around since at least 2019, and probably would have seen a gigantic spaceship landing craft into Wakanda. Then, as you mentioned in the episode 9 reaction show, they somehow get their hands on Vision's husk. Who would have cleared that? Would Natasha be aware of them? Rhodey, if he's working with Thunderbolt Ross in the Air Force, maybe? I can't imagine Cap trusted in any government entity after the events of Civil War and Winter Soldier. Sorry for the extremely long-winded question, but I've been stewing over it and the lack of explanation for weeks. TLDR, where did S.W.O.R.D. come from? Who knows? And when will we find out more? Thanks.
it does feel weird that SWORD is a fully formed organization when we meet them, and they apparently were already a formed organization before the snap, and we had no information about them, which, fine, they're a secret organization, but like, yeah, they kind of missed out on some pretty big events that were space related or whatever, or sentient weapon related, whichever thing they do.
Yeah, I mean,
we need a timeline. Yeah,
it's kind of weird. Like, if it were a sentient world observation, like, it would make sense that it would be space based, and then him saying to, like, Director Hayward saying to Monica, terrestrial missions only, you're grounded. Like, all that would make so much more sense than with it being sentient weapon. It's like, okay, well, where do you operate, and why do you do space missions? What sentient weapons are we talking about in space? Like, that's where Thor is right now. Right.
Well, I think that sentient weapon is like everybody that is not, every superpowered person is a sentient weapon. Mm-hmm. I would think.
That's what I think too.
Could be.
I don't think it's just the robots. Although
it's not just the robots.
It's not just the robots anymore.
Onlyrobots.com.
Although they do.
Don't go to that site.
Don't go there, people.
Why? What's on it?
Just
give it a Goog. Only Ashley. Nobody else.
I'm going to go and
onlyashley.com. Okay. No, I think it's very interesting. Like, where is SWORD and who were they and who's, like, how long have they been around? Do they have their origins in the past, like SHIELD? Were they more modern organization? Have they been, in the comics, they're sort of like an off branch of SHIELD, sort of, right?
Well, what do we know about it? We know that Maria Rambeau started it, right? Is that what
true.
They said? With Fury, well, so...
I think it has something to do with the connection with the Skrulls, then, for sure, right? Like, yeah. Like, it's like, maybe it's the humans sort of, like, project with the Skrulls.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to guess it's going to be a way that Hydra's going to figure out how to come back. Because they always do. Cut off one head. To grow in its place. I miss those funny guys.
Those were the days.
I miss those Nazi bastards.
No. I wonder, though. No.
What's your thinking?
No, it's too crazy.
All right.
It can't be.
Put it on
Arnim Zola. Arnim Zola worked with Maria Rambeau to get SWORD off the ground, and his consciousness is in space.
Yeah, I'm absolutely on board with Arnim Zola coming back. Like, I've been kind of waiting on him to rear his mechanical head once again.
Yep. He's the one that was able to put Vision back together. No, this is too crazy. It's too crazy.
Yeah, I think that's a little. That is definitely a leap.
Yeah. Yeah. Doogie sent us an email. Hey, guys.
Yay.
So they really did all that to us for a boner joke. Now I can't wait for John Krasinski to show up in No Way Home as the secret character Jack Mehoff.
Yes.
Speaking of boners, White Vision just dipped after getting his memories back. Do you think he remembered he left coffee grounds in the disposal again?
And what is he running a bed and breakfast for biker gangs? Hate that line.
Your favorite horror, Doogie. Doogie.
Whoa, look what you made him read.
This email.
The email is steeped in, like, after dark jokes, and
it's all kinds of layers.
But it's all spelled, not, like the words.
Right.
Well, his screen name is Weather Whore on one of the spelled like
but
that.
But it's not like W. It's H something, right? How he spells it.
Hoare.
Yeah, which how he spells it here. Yeah. So, the one thing we haven't really talked about that he mentions here, and I feel like we brought it up, but we haven't really talked about, like, a lot of people are complaining that White Vision just disappears, and I read a little bit from the creators who were like, he just wasn't important to our story anymore. Like, he has his own story going forward, but, like, our story was focused on the characters it was focused on. Like, he didn't need to go like join in the fight. And like, I agree with that. Like, what side would he have even fallen on if he'd gone in like, he has his memories back, but like, he's not in support of what Wanda's doing, you know? He's not going to try to defend Wanda, but he also isn't going to go try to fight for SWORD. So people were like, why did WandaVision just disappear in the middle of the fight? And it's like, he doesn't have a like dog in this fight, you know?
Maybe he was worried that they would be able to reprogram him again.
Yeah, possibly. Maybe he needs maybe I really think Wakanda's the answer. I know I've said it, but
he's going to hide there.
He's going to go get deprogrammed.
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really think that that Vision was just like, I have to go find myself and figure out what the hell has happened to me. None of this is important right now. Like, I gotta go.
Yeah.
Because I don't think he saw it as like there's a knockdown drag out fight happening between witches. I need to get involved. It was like I need to figure me out before I can do anything for anybody else.
Yeah.
Which is, it's really emotionally mature of Vision.
It is. He's not ready to date or fight anyone. He needs to like figure out who he is, you know? A little self-discovery.
Yeah, it's really emotionally mature for a synthezoid, especially.
Yeah, and he was just born a few years ago.
Yeah, he's certainly showing us a thing or two. Edward Humble sent us an email. He says, "Hi, thanks for an amazing podcast. I never miss an episode. Don't know if you're going to do any more discussion on WandaVision, but was just rewatching Winter Soldier and I noticed this. At the beginning, when Sam meets Cap for the first time, right after the on your left scene, best ever callback in Endgame, Sam tells Cap to check out the Marvin Gaye 1972 Trouble Man soundtrack. Everything you missed jammed into one album, quote unquote. Cap replies he'll add it to the list. He opens his little book with his list of things that he needs to check out, and right at the top is I Love Lucy, television. There are no coincidences. Everything is connected. Keep up the great work, guys. Thanks again. Love you 3000, Ed from London. Oh, he's from London. I got to read the whole thing again.
Nope, I don't think you do.
Cheers. Thanks for an amazing podcast. Never miss an episode. No, go ahead.
That makes me think that like her and Cap were probably at the, Avengers compound. She's like, well, I have all I Love Lucy. He's like, oh, well, that's on the top of my list of things I need to watch. And she's like,
right?
boy, I got all of those. Let's go make some popcorn.
You haven't
make some
seen
margs.
I Love Lucy?
That's true. Maybe she loaned him the DVDs. Mm-hmm. I like that.
Yeah, she wouldn't have loaned it to him. She would have been like, sit your ass down. We are watching this right now.
We never saw that little connection that they had, but now we know they just share the love of I Love Lucy.
Yeah, it's We Love Lucy now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wanda Steve.
Oh, God, it'd be so funny if they're sitting down watching I Love Lucy and he's just like, I don't like any of this.
Yeah.
He's just engrossed and just
Dude.
He's like,
She changes his mind.
okay.
His mind would have been blown by I Love Lucy, having come from the 40s and jumping into I Love Lucy, because that's just great comedy right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Still good today. That kind of, it's amazing.
I wonder though. No, he would have gone for it. He would have been like, I like her. She reminds me of another strong, independent female.
Yeah, he likes strong, independent redheads.
Yep. Juan Pibernus said on Facebook, hi everyone, love the addition of your producers to the conversation. A couple of very quick comments. First, WandaVision is not the first MCU property to bring witches into canon. That would be the Thor franchise, as Frigga stated that she was raised by witches.
Mm-hmm.
Second, I have to commend the designer of WandaVision's final Scarlet Witch outfit. It managed to convey a sense of power in a purely visual way. It is a very successful translation to a different medium. Comics accurate is not always the way to go when it comes to outfits, especially.
Yes. If we're going to speak about this outfit, we need to bring Miss Fashley into the conversation, right?
Is she fake Ashley?
No, she's Fashion Ashley.
Fashion Ashley.
Ashley.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right. It's not very good. Hey, Ashley.
Hey.
What did you think of the WandaVision outfit?
I
The
mean,
Wanda
I think
outfit.
I
think
mean,
you talked about it on the last one, but
yeah,
it's so
I
good.
just
Can we talk about it some more though?
She's so hot.
Oh yeah.
Like, not even trying to say that in like she's just so hot. She's
No thirst, no
gorgeous.
thirst,
She's
just-
beautiful. She's got those high cheekbones. The wigs were fabulous. Like,
Oh, yeah?
I just, the colors incorporated were really good. Yeah, I mean, every hairstyle in there was a wig. None of that was ever her real hair. That's how good they are with wigs now.
That's pretty rad. I would never know. I would never know.
No?
And the point about Frigga is well taken. Like, yeah, that is definitely true that Frigga was the first, like, sort of raised by witch person. But this was the first time we saw them on screen, like, firing bolts at each other, you know?
Right. Yeah, the mention of I was raised by witches is like, of course you were. It's the Thor, like, it's the Thor mythology. It's the Thor lore. Like, it's all there. Everything is there.
Yeah.
You know, nothing is off the table, so to speak. So,
Right.
like, witches, like, she says I was raised by witches, you don't even bat an eye because, like, that's expected.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then, like, we get Salem, and
This is like earthbound witches doing freaking Harry Potter shit.
yeah.
No.
No, that's different sorcery there. Okay. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back with after this ad we have no control over. And we're back.
And we're back.
What's up? Ashley up on the screen with us now, and we're going to talk about what she has to say. You got some feedback in the chat?
I have two.
Sweet.
Mr. Starowski says, did you guys hear that the director, I think, of Falls said there are non-human villains in it?
Ooh.
I did not hear that.
I did not hear that.
I also didn't hear that.
I don't know. I feel like I've been purposely avoiding Falcon and Winter Soldier stuff, but it's that I have not sought it out.
Right.
And it's because I've been like so engrossed in WandaVision. It's like I don't have time to go like seek out anything about Falcon and Winter Soldier because like it's taking all of my energy, or it was taking all of my energy to like process the show and think about everything and watch it 4 or 5 times before we come back to the Monday discussion and be like, what actually happened though? Like it's been so much. So I haven't sought out anything about Falcon and Winter Soldier, but now tell me about this. Tell me about this thing.
So, yeah, I hadn't heard this either. And I wonder if they mean by non-human, like, because apparently these soldiers they're facing, they look human, but they have powers. So that's a thing. And yeah, I don't know what they mean. Maybe it's one of the big 3.
Could be one of the big 3.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely wizards.
Definitely wizards. It'd be really weird if the bad guy was like another witch in this. It'd be like, really?
Great.
Witches again? Like we just get witches for like the next 16 Marvel properties. That's all they do from now on. I was meaning it as a bad thing, but a lot of times when I mean things as a bad thing, Ashley really embraces it.
I'm really open to suggestions.
Like, what if they're killing kids the entire time in Phase 4?
I
Ashley's
was like,
like,
ooh, torturing children? I love it.
it's my favorite.
It's my thing.
Tell me more. Did you cut off their heads? That was a callback to Jeff's joke.
All right.
I love that it was framed around a song in Greece. That was great.
Very well executed.
Thanks.
Oh, that was so great.
But no, we hadn't heard that. That's cool. I wonder what they mean. How deep must the non-humanity go for it to be a non-human villain?
Yeah. Saber tooth.
Ooh.
I like it.
Aren't mutants still humans, though?
That's the question. That's what I'm saying. Like if mutants,
Wolfsbane, that's a mutant too.
if they're mutants, is that what do they mean by non-human? Like I guess that's the question. Not just not normal human.
Skrulls?
Could it be It could be Skrulls.
Skrulls in a kind of
Skrulls.
alien form.
Could be
Maybe vampires.
we only ever see them fight at night. No.
What if they're just haunted by a ghost, like a... I don't know.
Just randomly ghosts.
Yeah, just like a whiny ghost, like an emo ghost. Like, oh, guys, do we have to do this again?
Emo ghost.
You just know that Steve was better than this, than you.
Ooh.
Just like tearing him apart.
A whiny
And he's like, piss off, ghost.
a whiny ghost who likes Steve Rogers more.
Yeah.
God, you guys just aren't the same.
He haunts the shield. That's what he does.
Yeah.
A whiny ghost that haunts the
I love
shield
that.
and is now
I love
complaining
that.
about the new owner.
Oh, that's so funny.
You just don't throw it as
That's why-
smooth as Steve did.
That's why Falcon. That's why Falcon gives it up. That's why he doesn't have it.
He's like this.
I need an old priest, a young priest.
That's how he knows about the complicated legacy, like the shield, the ghost in the shield. The ghost in the shield tells him all about it. I hear they're looking at Scarlett Johansson for Ghost in the Shield as well.
Ghost in the Shield. Oh yeah, it's gonna be her voice. There you go. There you go.
She does have such a good voice for. What was she in Her? Where she was just like the Siri voice. Oh,
Just the Siri voice,
I'd fall in love with my iPhone too.
right?
Oh man.
Tell me my ass is better than yours, Ashley. Your ass
Ashley.
is so much better.
I have no ass,
mine.
so I can truthfully say your ass is better than mine.
Oh, thanks, phone.
I didn't need the qualifier phone, but thank you.
Oh, thanks, phone. what else you got in the chat there, Ash?
And then the last one was, I think it was a little callback to the Agatha with you saying that she was the town hero. Hera JK says, was she though? I mean, Agatha was going to let Wanda keep the town enslaved when she got Wanda's powers.
She wasn't, though. She said, she said that was a lie after she sucks all her power out. She's like,
Well, no, she said that I'll fix everything.
oh,
And then
no, that's right.
later
yeah.
she's like, that's actually a lie. I can't fix everything. So you're just going to be here in this broken little world that you created.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
But she said all of that away from the townspeople.
right, exactly.
Like she didn't say
Yeah.
that right in front of them. What she said in front of them was like, you've enslaved these people. Why have you done this?
Yeah, the argument that she's a hero is not that she is a hero, but she's the hero to the people of the town. Because all they know is Wanda enslaved them for weeks. Then suddenly there was this floating purple lady who came up and started literally setting them free. And then informed her what she was doing. And then she stopped doing it. So it was like this floating purple lady comes to town, saves them. And then she becomes, a slave in the town, like controlled by Wanda, stuck there. And then I could absolutely see them and the Darkhold. No, the Darkhold's not there. Them and Senior Scratchy, like working together to free her.
Yeah. They showed in the assembled how they filmed that scene with Agatha up on the building and Wanda surrounded by the townspeople. And I mean, Catherine Hahn's really up on that building.
Oh, really?
It was one of the biggest sets I've seen. It was really cool.
That it showed.
And she has like a boom mic on, and everybody just starts coming in around Wanda, and then it shows her not doing anything. And that's my favorite about behind the scenes stuff is when people are using their powers and it's nothing.
Yep. And there's so much VFX that has to be added, but they don't add it to the behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Because they can't.
Yeah. I love it. I can't get enough of behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah, I'm
That's
excited.
it.
I really need to watch that. I don't know how I got this far into the week without watching that thing.
Yeah, I'm going to go watch
watched
that
it
as soon
Friday.
as we're done here.
I may watch it tonight as I'm going to sleep, but first I got to spend the next 3 hours editing this so it gets up on the internet. And I'm going to Dallas tomorrow, so
We're gonna see my girl. Give her a hug for me.
I will. And I got my vaccine today, so I'm feeling good about that.
Good.
Did
Really,
you
really
get the
excited.
single dose one?
No, they scheduled me for the single dose one. I got there and they had the Pfizer instead of the J&J. And so I got there, I was like, hey, yeah, I'm here for they're like, we have the Pfizer today. And I was like, oh, it said on the thing, it scheduled me for the Johnson & Johnson. They were like, oh no, we had last week. Apparently the website didn't update, I guess. And so it's fine. I'll still be, like after the first dose, you're like 80%, it's 80% effective after just the first like 4 weeks or something like that. And then after the second dose, it's like 3 weeks later, it's fully
When's your
28
next
days.
one signed up for?
the 15th.
Don't they do it there? Okay.
of next month. So
That's not bad.
I gotta, yeah, not too far.
Man, I just hope they ship all those J&J ones down here because we are behind.
Yeah. Waterfall Angel says in the chat that the Pfizer is way more effective. From what I've read about it, the J&J, it came up as Johnson and Johnson. It came up less effective. It's actually Jar Jar.
Zen Man Paul talked to me in my language down there. John. I was like, I understand you're John, and I see you're John, and raise you as John.
Apparently, as far as I understand it, they say that the Johnson & Johnson shows a less efficacy, but they tested it on later populations that had already had different strains and stuff in the population, and so they actually think that if they tested the Pfizer and the Moderna now, they would get similar efficacy levels to what the Johnson & Johnson had. But who knows? That just might be PR so that we all take our vaccines.
They just gave you a sugar pill.
They injected a sugar pill into you.
We're all going to think ourselves healthy.
Yeah.
I don't think that's how it works, Ash.
No, I haven't been to a doctor in a long time. A placebo.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back at Friday. Don't forget, Friday morning. It is Falcon and Winter Soldier Day, and we're going to be doing a scener. You can go to strandedpanda.com/MCUcast, and right there on the top of the page, there's a little link for the scener. Just go there. You can follow us on Scener, and you can also just go to that link at 8 a.m. on Friday morning, and we are going to Central Standard
Time. Yep. Central Daylight Time, because daylight savings just started.
Okay, Central Time, whatever all that means. Central Time, and we'll be there. We'll be there doing the thing. So we're going to do a live watch at 8 a.m. and then at 9 a.m. we do a live podcast on twitch.tv/strandedpandatv. So if you go to, like I said, strandedpanda.com/MCUcast, there's links at the top to both of those things, the Twitch and the Scener live watch thing. And all you need is to have Disney Plus, and you got to get the Chrome extension for Scener, but it means we can all watch together and like, if I pause it, it pauses together, but I won't. But we all watch it together, and then we all chat. We have a little chat window. It's a lot of fun. I've had a great time.
When Matt
I figured out you can use your phone.
Oh, you can?
Yes, I figured it out. You can see the chat and everything and the timer on your phone, but you have to watch the movie on either your computer or your TV. So like when we did the Force Awakens rewatch, I could see and talk with everyone on my phone while watching the movie on the chat.
Oh my goodness.
On the TV.
Man.
It was awesome.
I didn't know that. I'm totally going to try to figure that out.
I wish I had been doing that all along.
Is it like how did you watch it on your TV? Did you like...
Because I have Disney Plus. And then I told Matthew, like after they started, I was a little bit behind. I was like, tell me exactly like your minutes where they're at. But then I noticed the time is in like the corner of the screener it's like a purple box for the screener, and then the chat's down there, and then it tells you what time the movie's at. So you can sync up.
You had to sync up yourself. It didn't like the TV didn't do it yourself. Okay, gotcha. I thought you meant you figured out a way to do like, I wish Scener had an app where you could like stream it to the TV and have your chat and it'd still be locked with everybody else. That would be super cool.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves, Matthew.
I'm just dreaming. I'm just thinking, wow. All right, guys, that is going to be it for us today. We will be back, like I said, Friday morning, 8 a.m. Cannot wait to watch Falcon and Winter Soldier with you guys. Peace.
Until next time, true believers.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us for the Marvel Cinematic Universe podcast, available everywhere you get podcasts, and now a video version streaming live on twitch.tv/strandedpandatv and available at youtube.com/strandedpanda. And if you'd like to learn more about all of our other podcasts, geeky projects, and ways to support the network, visit strandedpanda.com.